In a surprising turn of events, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has sent Mossad Director Yossi Cohen to Qatar. The mission: secure a ceasefire with Hamas. This high-stakes diplomatic move comes amidst a recent escalation of violence between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. The conflict has tragically claimed the lives of innocent civilians on both sides. Netanyahu's decision to dispatch the head of Israel's intelligence agency underscores the gravity of the situation. It signals a willingness to engage in direct negotiations, even with an organization Israel considers a terrorist group. The involvement of Mossad also suggests that the talks may extend beyond a simple ceasefire. The international community is watching closely as these secret talks unfold. Many see this as a potential turning point in the decades-long conflict. A successful outcome could pave the way for a more durable peace in the region. However, failure could lead to a dangerous escalation of violence. Qatar has emerged as a key mediator in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The Gulf state has maintained communication channels with both sides. This makes it a suitable intermediary for these sensitive negotiations. Hamas, which governs Gaza, has long demanded an end to the Israeli blockade. The blockade has crippled Gaza's economy and severely restricted the movement of people and goods. Hamas has also insisted on the release of Palestinian prisoners held in Israeli jails. It remains to be seen whether Israel is willing to meet these demands. Israel, for its part, seeks guarantees from Hamas that it will halt rocket fire into Israel. It also wants to prevent Hamas from rearming and rebuilding its military infrastructure. Any agreement would likely involve a complex set of security arrangements. The latest round of fighting has exacerbated the already dire humanitarian situation in Gaza. The densely populated enclave suffers from chronic shortages of essential goods, including food, water, and medicine. The healthcare system is on the brink of collapse. International organizations have issued urgent appeals for a ceasefire and increased humanitarian aid. The United Nations has warned of a looming catastrophe if the violence continues. The Biden administration has expressed deep concern about the situation. The U.S. has urged both sides to de-escalate and work towards a sustainable ceasefire. However, the U.S. has also reiterated its support for Israel's right to defend itself. The international community is divided on how to best address the underlying issues fueling the conflict. A glimmer of hope or a road to nowhere? The involvement of Mossad in the ceasefire talks has sparked cautious optimism. Some analysts believe that Netanyahu is serious about reaching a deal. They point to his desire to secure the release of Israeli hostages held by Hamas. They also note his need to ease international pressure on Israel. However, others remain skeptical. They argue that the deep mistrust between Israel and Hamas makes a lasting agreement unlikely. They also point to the history of failed negotiations. They believe that this latest attempt at diplomacy is doomed to fail. Only time will tell whether these talks will bear fruit. The coming days and weeks will be critical. The world waits with bated breath, hoping for a breakthrough that could end the bloodshed. The stakes are high for Netanyahu. The outcome of the ceasefire talks will have significant implications for Netanyahu. Domestically, he is facing pressure from both his right-wing base and his political opponents. His base wants him to take a hard line against Hamas. His opponents criticize his handling of the conflict. They argue that he has failed to provide security for Israeli citizens. A successful outcome to the talks could bolster Netanyahu's standing. It might even help him stay in power. However, a failure could further damage his already fragile coalition government. It could even lead to his political demise. On the international stage, a ceasefire could help repair Israel's image. It could also ease tensions with the Biden administration.